All right, testing 1 2 1 2. All right, get some more light up in here. Yeah. All right. All right, we good to go. Wait, let me make sure this is over here. There we go. All right, what's happening? Perfect timing, huh? Yeah. What we got left? About 20 minutes left on the chart. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm here. This is how we do things. I was busy, so I didn't have time to be on these charts today. But I'm here now. I'm here now. Let's see what's going on over here. Let me get this thing up first and foremost. So I can holler at y'all real quick. Oh man. It's so funny because what was it? It was only a day. I think I only took a day off. Feel like I took mad long off, and it was one day. Ew. Yep, one day. J. Carly, what's good? What's up? What's happening, Abdul? Yeah, yesterday I wasn't on the charts at all. Yesterday, and I didn't do a live. So, to me, it's like synonymous. They one and the same. Because if I'm on the charts, I usually come on live too. Because I like to talk through it, So when we on here, we on the live, they turn into little trainings anyway. All of that is powerful. It's all good stuff. All right, wait. Did I get the thing? All right, this one. Throw the other one over here. All right, cool. All right, well, let me see. Right now, the environment look good to me. Man, I don't know if it was like this, like all afternoon or not. Probably not. Seemed like it probably might have been like this for like the last half hour, maybe. But the environment looks very good. Behavior is also looking good. And of course, anytime we got the 1-2 punch, it's setting up the tone for what might be to come. All right, so let me see. Yeah, man. See that, man. If that right there had a little bit more to it, that'd be it right there, man. Right there, what we looking at. But it's not quite there. Not quite there. All right. But like I said, I like what I do see so far, overall. And this may set up the tone for also after we come back on after 6. That typically does happen also. Just an FYI. A lot of times whatever the behavior is, whatever the behavior is before the market shuts down and closes, it kind of sometimes will carry over into the next session when we open back up. So that's something that does go on. Not to say it's going to be exactly like it, but it does carry over. I like what Ernest said. That's funny. What's happening, Ernest? What's up, T? Yes, that is very true. That is very true. And when I refer to it as like taking off, every part of what I do like throughout the day is like all inclusive to me. Like even though we did live training last night, so technically I didn't take a day off at all because I still got some training in. Like I like to train, so I look at anything that if anything is distracting me from training, you looking around. I know. Switched up on you. Ain't know who I was, right? What's good, man?
Yeah, bro. Are they good? What
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing the live right now.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get fancy.
Just some things you're just doing?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Like,
yeah.
Like what?
I'm gonna holler at you. I see. I got you.
God bless.
No doubt. Good to see you, man. How's your mom?
She good. She's doing better.
All right.
Water. And what about you?
Everybody's good, man.
Listen, love
my
you.
man.
You heard?
No doubt. All right. I ain't see him in mad long. He ain't even recognize me. Yeah, but what the heck was I talking about? Oh, training. Yeah, so like I look at training as something that I just do, period. And it's like anytime that you're doing something that you enjoy doing, it's definitely not a job. It's not work. It's passion. You know, so there's a difference. There's definitely a difference. But yeah, but what you guys are saying is very true. I like what T said. The true definition of freedom, you can take off as long as you need and still have an opportunity to earn a high standard of living. Absolutely. Like if I didn't do anything, if I just wanted to take 2 weeks off, like it doesn't even have anything to do with the financial aspect of it as far as, you know, being able to pay bills and do what I want to do and spend money how I want to. All of that is still there. But I mean, as far as being passionate about what you enjoy doing, that right there is what separates the elements of what you actually do from you being in a position of freedom. You know what I mean? Like, so being free means being free to do what you want to do. So if what you want to do is like how I am, like I love to train and I love to trade. Those are things I love to do. So if I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of feeling like, oh man, I have to be here because this is how I make my money and blah blah blah. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. So that's where the freedom part comes into play with it, which is powerful. Very powerful. What's up, James? What's up, Stacy? What's up, Benito? Yes, indeed. Jay Carey said, oh no, that was T. It's not a job, it's TeamAlliance and my Kevin Costner voice. I like that. James said the market was volatile for most of the day. T said, good to be around good people all the time. You got to surround yourself, you know, with good people. You know what I mean? Got to surround yourself with good people. Definitely. Definitely do. What's up, RJ? What's up, Matthew? Matthew said, I enjoy my chart time, whether they're trades or not. I'm always learning. See, that's the level I'm talking about. It's like because you know that you are always doing something that's relevant to just becoming better at what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I always look at this as a skill set. Always. Every element of it. The study part, you know, when you're not even taking trades, you should be studying the market. That's what has allowed me to become so good and so thorough when I trade, you know, because the more that you study the market, the more that you're able to interpret the actual behavior of the market and, you know, like what the market is actually capable of doing, what the market actually is doing, like in real time, you know, like that type of thing. So the better at that you become, it just continuously elevates you. You know what I mean? So to me, that's powerful. And like, that's what I always look forward to. So, I mean, you kind of got, you caught a glimpse of it. Like when I was straight on a vacation and I'm on vacation and I'm still training, you know, I'm on vacation and I'm still on the chart taking trades or not even taking trades. I might have took maybe 1 or 2 trades that week, but just on the chart, you know, doing training still. Why? Like, why are you doing that when you should be at your leisure or whatever? To me, I incorporate it into everything that I do and I enjoy doing it. You see what I'm saying? I would feel bad to not do it. If I would, for me to go on vacation for 2 weeks and not do anything regarding the market and studying and training, you know how hurt I would be? Like I would be hurt. Me. I couldn't do that. I'm not capable of doing that. And that's just because of, you know, I guess it's the level that I'm at and where I'm at in terms of like just the vibration and the energy that it gives to me, knowing that I'm connected to something that I love to do all the time. Like that right there is just priceless, you know. And that's why I appreciate the fact that I can do what I want to do. But then people look at what you do to earn income as something separate than what you enjoy doing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? People don't associate what you love to do with making money. Well, what if you love to do actually makes you money? Imagine that. You see what I'm saying? Like, what if what you actually love to do makes you a bunch of money all the time? You got something there. You got something there. What's up, Andrew? Ernest said charge to the new Netflix. Got to binge on charge 24/7 to get better. Preach. Ooh. See, Joshua was on the vibration heavy. Listen to what he says. He said there's too much training momentum to just stop like that. Whoo, it's like being on a train. Come on, man. You on the training train. Benito said, know why you don't trade. Love the game, not just playing the game. Come on, man. Come on. Mo, what's happening, man? Matthew said, the weekends kill me. Real-time chart observation is my shit. That's success right there. See, we different. We're different. And y'all see, like, it's not, like, I'm not the only one like that. Like, we all are like that. Telling you, man. Telling you. This thing is something else. Like, you realize, like, literally every day, like, you know, when I say my prayers and I'm giving thanks to God for everything, like, I thank God literally for everything. Like, I thank God for the market. I thank God for, like, for NADEX. Like, I thank God for all of the opportunity that's available. You know, like, you understand what I'm saying? You got to be thankful for everything that you a part of that's making it possible for you to have an opportunity to do something that very few people can do. We talking about, like, look at what we're able to do. It's crazy. It's a bunch of people right now training with us. They trade on the phone. They be on the charts on their phone. Like, I'm not even at that point. Like, I like laptop and computer. I like that. I like the desktop or whatever. If you want to, you can be on your phone. Come on, man. Look at, like, I thank God for all of this technology that we got. People take stuff for granted sometimes, man. You got to realize, like, I came up during the time where there was no internet. There was no internet yet. Come on, man. How many of you remember that? There was no internet. When I found out and figured out what the internet was, I used to dial up that noise. Remember the noise that it used to make when it was connecting? When you got AOL for the first time and you heard it dialing up and you was getting excited, you was like, ooh, almost there. You hearing all of that, getting excited. Because you know, like, oh, this is the internet that I'm on. Information superhighway. Not even knowing what it was going to be. Like, this was years ago. This was years ago. I'm telling you, man. And, like, look at what we have now. It's crazy. Snap, crackle, pop. Paley said, I would have to start all over if I did that because I feel like I would be off the vibration. Come on, man. Telling you. Like for me, it was one day. And it wasn't even a full day of nothing. Like we still did live training yesterday. But throughout the day, I was off the charts and I just felt like, oh man, what am I to do? It was crazy, man. I'm telling you. Oh, wow. He said the floppy disk days. Remember the floppy, the big one, and it had the round hole in the middle with the, whatever that thing is called, where the data was at. You couldn't touch that because that's where the actual information was on the disk. Come on, man. And then they had the smaller ones, the harder plastic ones after that. And we thought we was moving up. Then they came with CDs. Come on, man. Take y'all back. Like my son and them, they don't even know nothing about none of that. I showed him a picture of the payphone yesterday. He was like, what's that? I was like, really? He asked me, what's that? I showed him a picture of a payphone. And he asked me, what is that? Insanity, man. Insanity. Matthew said, here's something to think about. You go from having a job and surviving for the weekend to treating whenever or where you choose and having to survive the weekend. How quickly things can change. Wow, that's true. It's like a total reverse. One extreme to the next. Who else said, I remember that. I had an old IBM computer my dad brought home one day. Yes. Right, the IBM computer days. AT&T used to make computers when I was coming up. My first computer was AT&T. It was mad heavy. That computer had to be at least like 70 pounds. Just the tower. Come on, why? Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all hate when people do this, man. Like, you're disturbing me. I'm in a good internet spot. I don't be wanting to move. Y'all disturbing my internet. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, they know that I'm only here for the internet. Just for that, I'm backing up now so nobody else can do it. That's the last person on my internet. All right, right there. See, this is the type of stuff that we got to go through. Find a good internet. outside. It's a hard knock life. Oh man. Ernest said, imagine if Allen Iverson was on this trading practice. You talk about practice. My goodness. Yeah, certain people, if they traded, they would be obsessed for real. Like, because I think that certain people's character is kind of like that already. Like they overdo it. Like that, like I'm like that. Once I find something that I like and enjoy, I overdo it. Like what did I used to do when I was much younger? I was like in my 20s. Every week. And this happened because when I was little, I never learned how to skate. Like I didn't know how to skate. So when I became, a man, I was like 20, I was in my 20s. I had to be like 25, 26. Maybe about that. Or was I a little younger? No, 25, 26. When I was about 26, I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna teach myself how to skate. Like on roller skates. So what I did, I went the first time. And you talk about caught a bad one. Yo, that could have been the end of it right there for me. If I would have just like, between being embarrassed about falling as a grown man, first of all, and then the way that I hit that wooden floor, it felt like I got hit by a truck. I fell straight back, straight on the wood, bow, and was like, oh. And you a man, so everybody's coming around like, oh. And this is New York. This was right in Brooklyn. Oh. Because anytime somebody sees something happen that look dramatic, they just amplify it. So it was one of those. They ain't trying to help you up because they like, well, you a grown ass man, get your ass up. So had to get up, got up. What I do? Stayed on the floor, kept skating. So now what's funny is that like everybody saw that I don't know how to skate, so everybody's kind of keeping their distance now. They're like, oh nah, he ain't taking me down with him. So that same night, in my mind, I just decided I'm gonna learn how to skate. Like I'm gonna do this. So from that point forward, he said revenge skating. That's what it was. That's like it definitely was. It was like I refused to let this, as a man, I can't let skating defeat me. Like, regardless of me taking that fall. And that was the type of fall. It was like, there was girls around, you younger and you a man and it's like you supposed to know how to skate by now. But I didn't know how to skate. And I wasn't, ashamed to act like I knew how to skate. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even have the right type of skates on. It just was a bunch of stuff. So anyway, caught a bad one, kept skating that night. Yo, when I went home that following day, my body, the soreness in my body was totally off the chart. It was like to the point where I couldn't do nothing. Like I just stayed home and just stayed in the bed. And at the time, me and my wife, we wasn't married yet. Stayed in the bed. She was like, you don't want to go to get dinner? I was like, I can't move. So just let me stay in the bed. So by the time like maybe not that was a Saturday that we went. Then by the following Monday, I started kind of feeling a little better. Following week, went again. That week, that's when I started to figure out little things. I'm like, oh, this is how they do it. My biggest thing was keeping your balance because if you don't skate, it's just like if you try to swim. You ever go swimming like for the first time? The soreness that you feel in your body because you working out muscles that you have never probably used ever. So the soreness you feel after that is crazy. It's very intense. So it was kind of like that. So my legs and my ankles and my feet had to get adjusted to moving on the skates. Because like you got to remember, like I wasn't working out or nothing. I didn't work out. I wasn't running. I wasn't in shape like that. So this right here is my opportunity to get in shape now. And that's what I'm using it for, in addition to the fact that I just want to learn how to skate. So go back to next week, still feel soreness, but it's less. And I just kept going back every week, just like it's kind of the same way I treat everything. Every week, literally, like to the point where um my wife used to go with me. She started coming with me every week. And she's like, "Damn, you going again?" I'm like, "I'm going every week." "Oh, well, can we do something else?" "We can do something else before or after, but I have to go skating." And I did that for like a year straight. Literally every single week. It was to the point where the people at the skating rink, they knew me as the dude that had fell that time. Like they used to be like, "Oh, you the dude that had 40. Yeah, I remember that 40. Oh, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was like, "You look a lot better than you did that day." I'm like, "I know. I figured it out. I ain't gonna fall again." Never fell again. That was it. So it was like something in your brain goes off and it makes you obsess over something that you kind of fall in love with and you enjoy doing. If you built like that, and I am built like that. So like for me, that was crazy. Like that's a good example to use where you just do something that you enjoy doing. And at first it was like I love to do it, but I don't even know how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? I love to do it because I see other people doing it and I know I can do it and I can look good how they look when they doing it. So that was like my thing in my own head. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna learn how to skate. I'm a grown ass man. There's no reason why I can't learn how to skate. So figured it out, man. Figured it out. That was an interesting experience. Very interesting experience. Cause I used to be asking, I'm like, damn, I wonder if I'm the only one that don't know how to skate. Like I don't see nobody else in here that's a grown man or woman that don't know how to skate. Like everybody in here knows how to skate except for me. Like that's how I felt. That is how I was feeling, man. That was crazy. Oh man. Y'all are hilarious in the comments. Joshua said, "You don't skip a day of eating. Training is food for the freedom." Come on, man. Matthew said, "Top trader problems." For real. Thirsty for dollars. What are your thoughts on fixed contract size versus variable contract size? When you say that, you mean like trading with a fixed number of contracts versus adjusting the number of contracts? Is that what you mean by that? If so, that's a good question. But I just want to know the context of the question so I can answer. Okay. Well, to give you the response that I kind of think that you're kind of leaning towards, move back, man. These people beat now. Yo, New York, people love to come like within your circumference. Come on, man. Y'all don't respect the 3 feet rule at all. There's a 3 feet rule. Give me 3 feet before you get beat to sleep. You got to be a New Yorker to know where that's from. But yeah, that's a good question. The answer to that is if you're trading with a fixed contract size, there typically is a purpose that you have. Like you're trading for income more than likely. So you want to your objective is to work your way up to a specific contract size and then stay there. So if that's the purpose of fixing your contracts at one size, that makes sense. It makes sense to build up to a contract size that is going to produce the income that you're looking to earn every time that you trade in the market. So say, for example, that your goal is to make $700 a week, right? From your trading. You can build up your contract size to the level where one trade would give you that. You understand what I'm saying? But the objective is to build up to that size, not to make a deposit to put you at that size. So let's say that the size is 50 contracts. You want to get up to 50. Or let's say 30. Let's say 30 contracts. You want to get up to 30 contracts, and if at the 30 contract level, let's say you would need 2 trades to put you in the range of where you want to be each week. So say your goal is $800 a week. If you trading with 30 contracts, at the 30 contract level, you're gonna make like maybe about 450 on a given trade at minimum on one trade. So 2 trades is like 900 for the week. So you know that that's what you would need in order to generate that income and to have the contract size there in place so that you can get it on those 2 trades. You see what I'm saying? So I prefer to do things that way. Like I want to determine what my income level is going to be, right? I know how much I want to make, and I know that my goal and my objective is to work my way up to that contract size. That's why it's much more powerful for you to wait for the best opportunities in the market. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're just taking the best opportunities, it means that your trajectory is going to be uninterrupted with losses. You're not going to be interrupted by losing trades. And I'm not saying that you're not going to lose a trade. What I'm saying is that if you position yourself out the gate with the mindset to be consistent and only take the best opportunities, and of course the best would be the opportunities that are the highest probability of you winning. You know what I'm saying? Wait just for those trades and allow those trades to give you your income. And I guarantee you, like, let's say that your goal is kind of like what I'm saying. You want to make $800 a week. You know that at the 30 contract level, 2 trades a week is going to give you that. And if your goal is to only wait for the best opportunities, one given week there might be 3 opportunities. Another given week there might be only 1. Another week there might be 5. You see what I'm saying? As over time, your skill is allowing you to wait for the best opportunities because you become better at recognizing what constitutes the best opportunity for you. It's going to be the trade that you're the most comfortable with. It's going to be the environment in the market that you're most comfortable with, because that's when your trade is way more likely to come. You got to recognize the environment that you'll find your trades in. Just like some people like momentum. If that's the environment that you're looking for and you know how to trade in that environment, then go for it. That's going to be the environment that you wait for. If you're waiting for a fast-paced environment, then the market moving slow is not where you want to be. You see what I'm saying? Because you've already identified the environment that you want to be in where your trades are. So I'm just saying that to give you an example of what I'm getting at when I say best opportunities. It doesn't have to be the way that I trade or anyone else trades. If the way that you trade is a certain way that you're comfortable with, Your job is to recognize the environment where you find that trade. And then out of those trade opportunities, wait for the best one to come to you. If you always put yourself in a position to wait for opportunities to come, that's how you are able to be consistent. That's how you're going to be consistent. Wait for the market to give you that money. And it doesn't matter what your approach is or whatever it is that you're doing. You just got to figure out what you're doing. That's more so the key to it. But that's a very good question. Very good question. And I think that response was pretty good too, actually. Greg, we know I didn't take any trades today. As a matter of fact, I just got on the chart like a half hour ago. And the market just closed. So it's going to reopen in like another hour. You know, we'll see what it looks like when the market comes back up. How much do I really need to start off with to make about 500 a day? Why you want to make 500 a day? I'm curious. Like, do you realize what 500 a day means? And I'm not even being funny. Like, I'm just really asking you, like, why do you want to make that much? Who I said, TA Swag is looking good today. I swear I'm listening. But I'm also thinking, damn, I need a cap like that. Yeah, man. I know the cats be popping, right? And the summertime's coming too. I'm gonna switch it on y'all. I have mad colors, mad nice colors. They're gonna think that we in Bermuda or something. Most of my wife wants to know, can someone really make a living from trading? I already told her yes, but she wants to hear it from the teacher. Mo's wife wants to know. Mrs. Mo, yes. Yes, you can make a living. Absolutely. Yep, you can make a very good living. And what I love about TA is that if we catch people before they start messing up, man, it's like we gonna turn you into a monster in the market. You really gonna be a monster, and not because you're gonna be taking a whole bunch of trades, but you're gonna learn how to just win consistently and create a trading business. Like, that's how I like to look at it. Think about it in terms of building a business, right? It's just like if you want to open a business, whatever business it is, you want to sell pies. All right, you got to figure things out, don't you? Location, where you going to be located? How much you going to sell your pies for? What kind of pies you going to sell? You going to bake on the premises? You going to just sell pies? You going to sell other stuff? You going to, how much space do you need? Are you going to deliver? Just the thought alone, I want to sell pies. I want a business selling pies, making pies. I make good pies. Now, when you try to turn that into a business, all of this thought has to go into it. All this research, work, energy, time. You got to spend mad time just figuring it out, right? So think about it as far as trading goes. It's the equivalent of that as far as time. You're going to have to put time in to figure out how to trade and win and be profitable. But when you come into TeamAlliance, the blueprint is already there for you. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said when we catch people before they start to do stuff in the market, you're going to be a monster. Like, for real. And I'm not just saying that. That's what it is. Y'all going to see. Watch. Watch all of these success stories coming out just this year. Watch. I'm telling y'all, man. Dollar said, let's say you do 10 contracts and you win 3 during the week and then increase to 15 and say you lose on that. Would you stick to 15 contracts? No. If you ever lose, as a matter of fact, and see, this is another thing. Like, I hate to make it seem like I'll be tooting, like the TA horn all the time, but we got it. Like all of these questions that people ask, the answers are here already. We use a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet lays out how to take, starting with $100. First of all, start with $100 and just follow the spreadsheet. Spreadsheet tells you when to scale up your contract size. So it's letting you know based on your account size, when you get to this size, you scale up to 2 contracts. You get here, you scale up to 3. You get here, you scale up to 4. It's telling you where to scale up your contract size. And it's telling you the account size that reflects that contract size. So say for whatever reason you lose a trade, look at the account size on the spreadsheet and look at the contract size next to it. That's the contract size that you should be at. You understand what I'm saying? So the spreadsheet is guiding you the entire time, win or lose. If you lose a trade, you go back to whatever the account size is where you are now, and whatever contract size is for that account size, that's the level that you at. Those are the amount of contracts that you should be trading. You always know where you are. You see what I'm saying? So you combine that with the fact that you probably ain't gonna lose, because if you're training with us, you learning how not to lose, period. You're learning how not to lose. You're learning how not to be greedy. That's another thing too. People don't know how to control their greed. That's huge. You like, man, the way that we train is really insane to me, like when I think about it, because I'm like, there's nothing that's missing. Everything that you would need to figure out how to be successful trading is what Team Alliance is. That's what we are. Everything, like anything you can even think of. Like, damn, man, my mind just, I don't know, like my mind is just off. Like my mindset ain't there. I don't know, I'm not feeling this. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with the emotional aspect? How do you deal with the mental and the psychological aspect of trading? Damn, this market is looking crazy. How do you deal with that? Damn, this market look good. Man, I probably get about 3 or 4 trades today. How do you deal with that? That's called greed. Why are you looking to take 3 or 4 trades? You see what I'm saying? You have to constantly keep on top of yourself just to control yourself. Can you imagine if you didn't control yourself? Where would your account be? People that lose and blow their account and do all of this nonsense in the market, they make a lot, then they lose it all. Where do you think that comes from? Oh man, you went 45-0 and then you blew your account? Huh? Oh, you took 250 for 5,000 and then you blew it? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. But people do that type of stuff. Oh man, I found a way to do it, and man, I took my account from 300 to 3,000 in a week. Every time I hear that type of stuff, I just be like this. I just sit back and just wait for it. I'm like, all right, I get them 2 weeks. A week later, oh man. As soon as I hear, oh man, I already know what happened. They blew their account. I'm down. I'm under 300 now. Huh? This is real stuff that people do. And I'm like, see, this is what happens when you leave yourself like untamed. If it's like trying to tame a horse. If it's a wild horse, how long is it going to take to tame the wild horse? It's going to take a while. You the wild horse. You need to be tamed. And people don't realize this about themselves. They don't know. Because there's no mirror in front of them showing it to them. Then they get here and they like, damn, I'm impatient as hell. He right. Damn, I'm greedy as shit. He's right. Why did I scale up? Why did I do that? Come on, man. It's interesting. It really is. Yeah, Mo. Mo said I can feel my transformation. Monster model. Jeffrey said TA. That's it. Enough said. A lot coming. Who will say follow Mark's rule and you're all good? No need to worry. Bam. What's happening, Jeff? Jeff said TA will change your lifestyle and mindset. It will bring out a better you if you allow it to. Come on, man. Come on. Dollar said, what triggers, oh no. Do you have triggers to help you control yourself getting sucked in, even if you have experience? Yeah. I mean, like for the most part, the main trigger is permission. If you don't have permission, you don't trade. That's a trigger. That's the only trigger that you need. Think about it. So that means that if you are holding yourself accountable or you're being held accountable by someone else that's, there with you. And see, that's another thing that we have. Like, that's a part of TA's community. We hold each other accountable. Like, we constantly are talking to one another throughout the day. We in the group chat. We're going back and forth about what the market is doing and what the market is not doing. Do we have permission? No. Are we getting closer to permission? All of this conversation goes on all day, every day. So it's like you would have to literally not do anything that you're told to do to mess up. In order for you to mess up when you're here, you got to totally deviate away from what we're doing. Because everything that we're doing is designed to help you to control yourself. As a matter of fact, it's designed to force you to control yourself. If you stick to what you're being trained to do, you will not do anything stupid. All stupidity is going to lead to you losing money, period. And if you follow the protocol and the instruction and the training the way that it is, because the same way that you hear me talk on here, this is the same way I talk in training. Because you need to hear it just like this. It's not sugar-coated at all. Oh, well, I can understand that, it's going to take you time. No. You tired of losing? Stop doing dumb shit. You want to stop losing? Do exactly what you trained to do and don't do nothing else. Oh, well, Mark, what about? No. No. Oh, well, can I? No. No, you can't. Well, what about? No. Training over. It's like, what else do you need to hear? You see what I'm saying? Like, you need to hear it just like that because that's what it is. That's how you should hear it. You shouldn't hear it sugar-coated. Oh, well, no, you can do that. Sometimes I know that the market, it might line up and there might be this and that. No. You tired of losing? You don't need to trade at all until you figure out how to control yourself. It's you who's the problem. It's not the market. Market does dumb shit every day. The stuff that you calling dumb shit is making somebody money who was patient enough to wait for the market's dumb shit to happen. What you're calling crazy in the market, if somebody is disciplined enough, they can trade in that market. You don't realize that? And if you're trading against them in that market environment, they're going to kill you. It's not the market, it's the person on the other side of the trade. They're going to take your money from you. You trading in an environment that you're not familiar with. It's like if you a zoo animal and now you in the jungle. You're going to die. You're going to die. You used to somebody bringing you food. You lived in the zoo. Now you in the jungle. You got to hunt. You got to kill your own food. You're going to die. And this is exactly what happens to people when they trade. You trying to do all of this extra stuff in different environments in the market, and why? Figure out how to win. Figure out how not to lose, and just do that. Like, why? Why do you want to do anything other than that? And this is conversations that I have with people all the time. They be like, well, I've been trading for about 10 years and I just can't seem to be consistent. Yeah, because you have not controlled your greed yet. That's the main thing. You still greedy. Well, sometimes when I win, I want to just keep winning. Who doesn't? But it ain't realistic. You're not going to keep winning. You're going to lose at some point. You need to stop. You need to stop. Oh, well, I went 4-0. Okay, cool. Then I took another one. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, they want to tell me all of this, but then they don't listen to me when I give them my advice about it. And I'm not suggesting that any of you are doing that. Like, I'm just giving you examples of conversations that I have with people that struggle. They struggle and they ask me, I give them the answer, but they don't want to hear that answer. So they keep doing the dumb shit that they're doing until they just lose and then be hurt. Be like, damn, I should have listened a month ago. I know. And I told you that as soon as I told you then, I told you don't do it. I said, what you're going to do is we're going to have another conversation and you're going to tell me about how you should have did it when I first told you. That's what's going to happen. And it happens. It definitely happens. It's just like people be bugging out. Like, they be like, Mark, you only took 2 trades? Like, yeah. Mark, you didn't take a trade this week? No. No. Then out of nowhere, maybe the following week or the week after, we get our trades that come 3-0s and 4-0s for the week. I remember that, like, this was recent too. What month are we in? May? This might have been February or March. I think it was like February. There was about 2 weeks that went by where there was no trades for us. Third week comes, bunch of trades. Easy money, just money on the table. And between the third and the fourth week, that month, I made more money in that month than I did in months where I had 3 trades a week. So just do the math on that. If I'm averaging 3 trades a week, that's like 12 trades for the month. The month I'm talking about, I took 5 trades for the month and made more money that month than in months where I took 12 trades. What? How'd you do that? Come on, man. This is why we train. This is why we got spreadsheet. This is why we control ourselves and we can build up and scale up. Take fewer trades, better quality trades that the market gives to you, and increase your contract size and make more money. It's simple. It's just like how people will be frustrated in the beginning. Well, Mark, why I got to start with 100? Can I start with 1,000? Turn 100 into 200. Do that first. Can you do that? The reason I don't want you to start with 1,000 is because with 100, you can't lose. With $100, if you lose, your account is gone. That means you can't lose in order to flip that first 100. This is the test of your skill. Like, everything is done like this on purpose. It's intentional. Come on, man. Dollar said, do you have trick? Oh, I read that already. What triggers do you use? What triggers do you use? Because in one of your videos, you said you have difficulty with that also, even though you have experience. Yeah, see, and I'm glad that you're saying that, because I do say that in my videos. What I'm saying is that, and if I say I have difficulty with it, that doesn't mean I don't overcome it. It just means that the temptation is still there, even though I'm at a much further experience level than the majority of people. I still have to deal with the temptation, and probably more so, because the more skill that you get, the more you capable of doing in the market. So you really got to control yourself now. You really got to control yourself. It's just like when I when I was building the framework for At the Money, and I'm doing At the Money trades and winning all of them. And it's like, damn, I didn't even know I was going to do that. I didn't know that. All I'm doing is the same thing I normally would do as far as dealing with the market. So when I was building out the framework, I'm just using what the market is giving me to figure out how to be in position to win trades. And that's what you saw, wins. And it's like, damn. Everybody on the outside looking is like, wow, I want to trade like that. Okay, you want to trade like that, but that's not even how I trade. That's just me using my skill in the market to try to build a different type of framework doing something else. And it was effective with that also, which shows you it's the market skill. It don't even got nothing to do with what you're doing. How capable are you within your study of the market? How patient are you to wait for the market? How disciplined are you to not do anything in between while you're waiting for something specific to take place in the market? Those are the elements that are going to position you to be consistent and to win consistently. You see what I'm saying? So that's the skill. The byproduct of that is the winning trades. It's not about the winning trades. It's you. So you have to build up your skills. All of your skills are all encompassing. Everything I just mentioned, patience, discipline, studying, all of that is relevant. Like, these are things that people kind of don't want to do. They want something automated. Oh, well, can you make a software to just give me the signal? No. No, you're the signal. You're the signal. So, yeah, when I speak on that, that's what I mean. The temptation is always there, and it actually increases and it becomes more intense. But what happens is the temptation is offset by the patience and the discipline and all of those skills that I have. You see what I'm saying? I've conditioned myself to be a certain way when it comes to being patient and disciplined. So when the temptation comes, I resist it. The reason I'm saying that it's there and that it's high is because it is there and it is high. But it's not gonna be more powerful than my patience and my discipline over here. Like, nothing can't move me from this. No temptation. Oh, damn, Mark, you could have made $8,000 on that trade. I don't care about that. I don't care. I can make $8,000 just doing what I normally do, scaling up. Why I gotta make it on one trade? I don't care about that. You see what I'm saying? Like, so the temptation is there where people feel like, well, damn, you can make all of this money. I just do what I feel like doing at the time. I don't put no pressure on me to make all kind of astronomical money. I make the money that I feel comfortable making at the time. And that's it. I leave it at that. There'll be times where I might take a trade, it's 25 contracts. Then there's times where it's 70 contracts. I might take trade with 45. You see, like, it depends on what I'm doing at the time. And I do a lot. Like, I'm doing a lot of things because I'm also training in the process. So I use my trades and different examples of what the market looks like to train. So for me, it's not just me by myself trading. I know that when I'm trading, that it also represents something educational that can be learned about the market from the trade. Something that was going on, maybe I picked up on something specifically, and then I can incorporate that into what it is that we actually do. So there's a lot, like, it's research, and all of this stuff is going on simultaneously at the same time. So Paley said, knowing your environment is very important because you don't have to deal with being thirsty on the chart. You can come back on later and look and observe and find your environment that follows your setup. Come on, man. That's it. Jelani said I went 29-0 today. I'm about to go buy me a Ferrari and sell these signals. Dallas says, so mathematically, if we keep winning mostly, then a loss here and there is not. No, that's it right there. Thirsty for dollars. That's it. That is it. Yo, your name is ill though. He got an ill name. Thirsty for dollars. That's an ill name right there. That's an ill tag. But yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal. And what will happen is eventually, like, because anytime that you lose is a lesson. But you have to make sure that you extract the lesson from the loss. This is hard right here. I already feel it. What I'm about to say. A loss for you represents more than likely you deviating from what you have agreed to do in the market, or you becoming anxious and thirsty to get into a trade and rushing your process and being in a trade in the environment in the market that you shouldn't be in at all. That right there is the definition of a loss for you. So just listen to that. It means you have to overcome those elements so that you completely avoid the loss. The way that you avoid a loss is avoiding the losing situation. Don't put yourself in losing situations at all. Remove yourself from losing situations and the losses disappear. Just like the team that trains on defense. They're training on better defense. They're training to stop the other team from scoring. If we do that well enough, we're gonna score. It's 5 players. Somebody gonna score. You see what I'm saying? So when they go out on the floor, their defensive team, the more that you stop the other team from scoring, you get the other team frustrated too. Because you're disrupting what they are trying to do. They're trying to score. They're an offensive team. They're trying to shoot you to death. They're trying to shoot. If you defensively are stopping that, you frustrate them. That opens the window right there so that when you're on defense, you stop them from scoring. The byproduct of that is that when you get to the other side, you're going to score more than likely because they're frustrated because you stopped them over there. They're not really focused on defense like you. You focused on defense. They focused on offense. Whoever has the better focus is going to be the one that comes out on top. And if you strict about being defensive, you're going to come out on top. And they're not going to understand, well, how the hell did we lose this game? We got better shooters than them. It don't matter that you got better shooters. Their defense smashed your shooters and stopped them from scoring. You see what I'm saying? So that's how like when you look at the market the same way, you remain on the defense. The market is always aggressive. So you have to learn how to be submissive. Don't in your mind, oh, I'm going to kill the market today. You're not killing anything. The market is going to tear you up because you don't even understand what it is that you're doing. Like, what language are you speaking? You got to speak the market's language. First and foremost, if you're not even speaking the language, when you take a trade, why did you take the trade? When you win a trade, do you know why you won? You took a loss. Do you understand why you lost that trade? You should know why you're winning, and you should know why you lost a trade. And like I said, the only reason that you should lose a trade is because you deviated away from your process or you rushed your process. And you ended up being in a trade that you shouldn't have been in, probably in the wrong market environment. That's outside of what it is that you do. I guarantee you that that's what it is. Go back and look at all the trades that you lose. And I bet you that that's what it is, regardless of what you do. It's crazy, man. Ernest said people are generally lazy. Ever heard someone say that they don't need much in life? You're right about that. You're right. It's a mindset. Yep. Oh, I don't need much. What? You got to eat about 3 times a day. You need mad water. You need clothes every day. You need to shower every day. That's a lot. That ain't a little bit of shit. That's a lot. That's kind of a lot already. Jeffrey says, study more than you trade. Come on, man. Thirsty for dollars. Mark, you are a genius. I could tell you are a true trader. I have not heard anyone speak like you do. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And it's like, because I know so many things too. A lot of it has to do with when I started in this trading industry. I was like everybody that's looking for just a way to be able to be consistent in the market. Like I just wanted a way to be consistent. I didn't care what it was. It could have been signals. It could have been a training, somebody's strategy, indicators. Like what you got? What's out there? Let me see what's out there. And in my search, looking for something that was going to work and be effective, I found nothing. It just was a whole bunch of stuff. It just was stuff. Indicator packages. Oh, here, I got a method for you. Take the 10 simple moving average and use that, cross that over to 210. Or better yet, take the 5 moving average and cross that over the 30-day moving average. All type of stuff. Oh, here's the rainbow indicator. Here, use the Ichimoku cloud. Oh, you're not using Fibonacci levels? All you got to do is draw a Fibonacci retracement and then trade at the 218. What? Oh, what I do, when this bounces here, I buy. Oh, but if it does this, then I'm gonna exit early. It's just a bunch of shit. And like your head just be spinning. You're like, yo. And the thing about it is like, it's all of this stuff out there. Then you got to go through each one. So whatever new, package or course that somebody got, you got to buy it first. Then you got to go through it to actually try to validate what they're saying that it is. And then you come to find out it's all bullshit. You're like, yo, I already knew about this. The last dude was talking about this. You took his shit and then rehashed it, basically. And now you selling it, you calling something else. Like, I went through all of this for years, man. Like, literally for years. Yeah, all type of stuff. Oversold, overbought condition. I used to be like, yo, what are y'all talking about? And I got frustrated. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I could just start looking at the market myself. And I remember the day that I said that. And I think that the last thing I had bought at that time had cost like $399. And I bought it. And it was it had a software package in it. They had an expert advisor that was supposed to send you the signals to your phone. All of this stuff on it. They would, like make sure that you have a high-speed internet connection and you need a T1. You need a T1 speed internet connection. So all of this stuff, I did all of this upgrading, bought, paid for the most expensive internet and all of that. I'm like, the shit still don't work. None of this shit works. And it just frustrated me. I was like, yo, and I kind of felt like it's not fair. Like, I'm like, yo, why are you doing all of this and none of it works? I just was like, why? It doesn't work. So I felt, I'm like, all of that just played a part into kind of feeling like, well, I see now I have to do this myself. If I'm going to be successful at this, I got to do it. That's the only way it's going to happen because nobody else cares. Nobody cares. And so I always look at everything from that perspective first. That's why it makes me a better teacher, because I know already how you think, because that's where I was. You see what I'm saying? So I can reverse engineer your thought process the same way that I did for myself. That's what makes me a good teacher, because all I'm doing is the exact same thing that I did with myself for you. So when I communicate, I do that the same way. It's step by step. I got to tell you, I have to start at the finish and then come back. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's what makes it so powerful. YouTube trying to stop they're trying to stop the vibe. They can't stop it though. Yeah, but that's what makes it very powerful. Like for when people come into training now, it's just amazing. Like you coming straight into like, it's like a whole nother world, because it's like a whole nother world, because it's a world that was created from all of that. It was from that one seed. That one seed has just grown into everything that TA has become now, which is just insane. Because it's like the training is on a whole, like you thinking that you're learning about the market, but you really learning about yourself. That's why this works. The reason that this works is because you're learning about yourself. What's happening, Capital One? You used to use separate charts, but now you use NADEX charts. Man, I got a story about that. Do you not think you need to see a bigger view of what market is doing and not rely on NADEX charts only? That's a good question. That's hard. See, because, what's up, Holly? Let me tell you something about, getting a little warm in here. Let me tell you something about that real quick. Go ahead, Cruz. Cruz is already on it. He said it's best to use the NADEX charts. Better timing on your entry. Bingo. See, anytime that you use something that is outside of your trading platform, like, all right, if you're trading on MT4, right? You trade on MetaTrader, but let's say that you're trading with who's an MT4 broker? Let's say Owanda, right? You're on Owanda, but you have up a Think Forex MetaTrader platform next to your Owanda platform. Now, the quotes and the information on the Think Forex platform is not going to be identical to the Owanda platform, right? You're thinking that you are increasing your ability to see the market by having up more information. But the information that you have up is less relevant to the trading platform that you're on. So if you're on Owanda, the only thing relevant to that platform is whatever information comes from Owanda. Whatever servers they're using for their quotes, whatever servers they're using for their chart information, that is what's relevant, because that's the execution that you'll get on that platform. You understand what I'm saying? You could have saw a different piece of information on this platform. The only one that's relevant is the one on the platform where you trade. Now, I remember the day when I said I'm not using them for no more on the NADEX platform. And mind you, I used it well. Like, considering, I actually used that well because I'm just thinking back to like what I used to do. I used the MT4 well, as far like to the extent that I could, and I was able to communicate that also when training. Like, we have old videos where I was using MT4, and I remember the day where I decided, I said, I'm gonna stop using MT4. I'm only using the NADEX platform. And the reasoning behind that, excuse me, made so much sense to me. It was like a big ass bright light just turned on. It was like, makes more sense to just do this. Makes more sense to just use the NADEX information. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. Let me read what y'all talking about. Shawnee said MT4 was the early days for me and TA. Yup. Shawnee was there. Yup. Mo said YouTube tripping. Yeah, they acting stupid. They trying to stop all this knowledge, man. Thirsty, but does it not help you with trend and whether price will hold or not? You using trigger words. Thirsty for dollars. You got to be careful the words you're using here, cause that you get jumped, you get bombarded. How we feel about trends? Watch this. What y'all think about trends? See what everybody says. That says it all right there. You see that, Thirsty? You see that big thumbs down? Dorian said, what trends? Shotty said, miss me with the trend stuff for TA. Come on. See? So like, and see, this is just like something that we kind of go through all the time when people come, especially when they come into training and you already are in Forex. It's like you got to do a whole detox, damn near. So much of the stuff that you're used to and that you're familiar with becomes irrelevant. Benito said, what's that? Cruz said, in 5-minute binaries, no trend is needed. So just that question, does it not help you with trends and whether the price will hold or not? Now, the second part of your question is good, whether the price will hold, because by you saying that, you're indicating that you have an understanding of what the market needs to do in order for you to win a trade. Definitely. Dorian said, nope, trends are irrelevant. Took me a while to learn that. Joshua, trends are irrelevant to the now. We trade with now information. Yeah. And that leads me right into what I'm saying about using the NADEX charts. Now, how do you win a trade? Like, this is just a simple way for you to understand the relevance of information. On the platform, Thirsty for Dollars, on NADEX, what price is used to determine that you won the trade relative to your strike price? So say your strike price is 2,300 and you need the market to stay above 2,300 in order to win. And let's say the indicative price is at 23,001. So it's sitting 1 micro pip right above the strike price. But you're looking at charts on 2 other platforms. And on them 2 platforms, you seeing that it's 5 micro pips above. So they're showing 5, maybe the other one is showing 3 micro pips above, but NADEX is showing 1 micro pip above. Right? By the time the trade ends, NADEX is showing 1 micro pip below the line, which means you lost. You look over here on these other 2 charts, they're showing 1 micro pip above, 2 micro pips above. They're still above the line. NADEX is below the line. what's relevant. What you gonna do? Call NADEX and tell them, yo, why the indicative close underneath the line on my chart? On my charts, it's above the line. They're like, on what charts? They're like, on our chart, it ain't above the line. What you talking about? The settlement value was below the line. Relevance. So when I realized that, I'm like, you know what? The only information that matters is the information on the NADEX platform. Period. Period. So when you're studying the market, you need to study the market from the perspective of NADEX. Doesn't that make sense? Like, just think about that logically. It makes way more sense than looking at outside platform and charts to try to determine your decision making on NADEX. When the only thing relevant on NADEX is the information coming from NADEX. So that was like I said, it was an epiphany for me. Osmond said, in other words, the trend is your ex-friend. Oh, man. Right. See, thirsty for dollars, hit it right on the head. The indicative, that's what matters. So the indicative price is the information that you need to be studying. You need to study the information that's coming through on the NADEX platform. Simple as that. And, you know, that was it. As soon as I realized that, it was no more MT4 ever. I don't even open it anymore. That's it. Mo, that is hilarious. He said trends with a poop emoji. Cruz said trends depends on if you're a swing trader or a hit and quit trader. Yeah, it's relevant to if you're trading Forex, pretty much. And even with that, you still have to learn how to interpret the market. Even on Forex, it doesn't change. It does not change. It really doesn't. I did well on Forex. I did well on Forex. One of the reasons why I wanted to stop trading Forex and look for something else was the brokers. It wasn't me. They was mad at me for winning, and they was doing stuff on the platform to try to interrupt what I was doing when they saw how much money I was making. That's the problem I had with Forex. You know, it's a heavy hit for a broker when you hit them for 18,000, 20,000 on one trade, which I was doing at times. I'm getting phone calls. They're like, yeah, I see, we see you made a large withdrawal. Like, yeah, I withdrew some profits. I remember, I'll never forget this. FXCM. I had got, I took a trade. I made $23,000 on that trade. Same day. 23,000 on one trade, and then I made 18 on the next trade. 2 trades. 41 grand. Called them. I didn't even call them up. How did the withdrawal process take place then? Oh, you had to fax them a withdrawal request. I remember now. You had to actually fax it to them. They needed your signature and your information and all that on it. Had to fax it to them. And I used to always get wire transfers. So I send in my withdrawal request, and you could send it in through fax. So I used to sign everything, and then I used to scan it and then fax it to them. And it went into an automated queue. So I sent in my withdrawal request. Next day, get a phone call. Oh, yeah, we're just calling to check up on you. And, we see that you made a large withdrawal from the account. Now, mind you, in the account, I had like $90,000. And I withdrew 30. That's kind of what I used to do. I used to take a third. If I had profits, I would try to take anywhere from like 30 to 50% of whatever I made in my profits. But on this particular one, I took more than that because I had made 41 and I withdrew 30. But the remaining balance was still like 60 something thousand left, right? So I make the withdrawal, next day get the call, and they're calling me. It's like I had just got the transfer. It just hit my account. So I'm like, cool. I got the alert. Let me know that the money was in the bank. Then I get the call from them. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, we're just calling, we see that you made a sizable withdrawal. And this. I'm like, yeah, I only withdrew some of it, though. Like, because I'm like, I only withdrew 30 of the 40. Like, I didn't even take all of it out. And first of all, why are you calling me? Like, what are you calling me for? To talk to me about my activity in my account. Because that's kind of what he was getting at. He was like kind of trying to figure out, well, what is it that you're doing? And I'm like, what? Like, you the broker, just execute my order. Your job is to execute my trades. Your job is not to call me asking me what I'm doing and how I'm making money in the market. Like, that just was insane to me. But that's what it was. And that right there was like one of the first clues that I had when I realized that the brokers used to be taking the other side of people's trades. I'm like, you gotta be, because why are you worrying about what I'm doing? Why are you worrying about what I'm doing? And then I used to also realize that because I used to look at the way stops would be hit. And not just on my trades, but like on other people that I knew who also traded with the same broker. They used to be like, yeah, I just got stopped out on this trade. And I didn't even see the price hit that level. They used to be doing all type of stuff. Taking people's money, man. Taking people's money, and I know that caught up to them. I know it did. I don't know what specifically happened, but you can't do that and it not catch up to you. That's not good business practice at all. You're a broker. Your job is just to be the intermediary between the retail trader and the market. That's it. You're not supposed to be trading against people on the platform. You ain't supposed to be doing all of that. So yeah, like, I got stories for days. It's crazy. All right, Holly, see you later. Ernest said, you can't predict the market. Let Mother Market guide you. Palea says, Forex is better with trading with volatility. Yeah, I mean, you could trade a lot of different ways on Forex. A lot of different ways. Stacy, you were nice. I would have told them that it's none of your business. And I did. I kind of did tell them that. I was like, well, like what I'm doing specifically, nah, I'm not divulging any information. Like, why you? And then I was like, why are you asking me that? He was like, oh, we just do that, for some of our higher equity clients. I was like, higher equity clients. I was like, oh, because I'm actually making money. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have got no phone call if I was taking losses. You wouldn't have been calling me, asking me nothing then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you're full of shit. Get out of here. Thirsty for dollars. How are we going to predict direction of where price will go and end up, whether below or above strike price, if we don't see the bigger picture on the charts? Because that gives you confidence. It's not what you think, Thirsty. It's not what you think. Behavior plays more of a role in binaries than direction. Behavior and environment plays way more of a role. In other words, how the market is moving. Like, you understand that there's movements within movements. So I understand what you're saying about the bigger picture. Like, you're thinking in terms of going out further. Like, you might be on the hour chart or a 4-hour chart, and you're on a 4-hour chart trying to get the general trend direction of the market at a given time. I mean, it's just not relevant. It's not relevant because, like, we trade 5-minute binaries anyway. So within 5 minutes, how many different directions did the market move in relative to one strike price? You understand what I'm saying? Like, think about that. How many different directions? Within a 5-minute period, you might have 3 red candles and 2 green ones. And the 2 green ones, or say the last green one, could have taken out all of the movement that was going down in the last minute of the binary. You see what I'm saying? So it's more about overall behavior and understanding it in the context of a 5-minute binary that is going to determine whether you win or lose a trade. So that makes everything else irrelevant. Trends, direction, all of that is not relevant anymore. What's relevant is how the price is actually behaving, how it's moving. That's what becomes relevant. But that's a good question, and I understand why you're asking that. I understand. Um, Joshua said you should have told him. You tell him only if he bought your signal service. Wow. Oh wow. He said he interviewed with them literally a few weeks before they went under. Wow. Did they go out of business completely, or did they just stop doing business in the U.S.? Because I've heard a couple of different stories about them. I'm not sure what went on with them. But they, they were in position to be a promising company if they were doing things properly. But their business practices was straight trash. Said not sure if they're around at all. They sure ain't in Texas. Okay, so regulations got them in the U.S., so they probably trying to still do business outside the U.S. Got you. Cruz said if you're going to use out the money trades, then you have relevance to trend, price, and momentum. Very good, Cruz. Very good. You're right. You are right. And then it becomes really just more so of a game of predicting. And that's not where we want to be. We don't want to be in the prediction game at all, trying to figure out if the market is going to go somewhere. Nah. Right, because you need to know if it is going in your direction. Right. You need to know if there's enough momentum present to push it beyond your strike price so that that trade can end profitably for you. Because when you get into the trade, it's low risk, high reward. So you might have paid $20 to get into the trade and you can make 80, but you're only going to make 80 if the price stays above your strike or below your strike. But when you get into that trade, it's out of the money, meaning it ain't nowhere near the strike, probably. Nowhere near the strike, which means that the momentum and the volatility has to be present in the market in order to push the price beyond that level by the time the clock runs out. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work and a lot of figuring out. You know what I mean? Nah. And see, I went through all of this. I went through every approach. I looked into out the money. I looked into at the money. I did behavioral studies for everything, because I always will apply the market knowledge first. And when you apply the market knowledge, it tells you whether or not something can even be done. And if it can't be done the way that you're interpreting the market, then you got to use what's relevant to the way that you're looking at the market, period. So that's why for us, what we do is so powerful, because we got it. We got it. It's just a matter of waiting for the market to give you the money. That's it. That's why you need to work on patience and discipline. Because as long as you have patience and discipline, you're going to be profitable doing what it is that we do. All we do is wait for the market to bring money to us. That's it. Stress free. Yep. But this is a good dialogue. This is definitely a good dialogue. Definitely. Thirsty says, so if price moves to, say, resistance when price is already extended, then by looking at bigger view, you can predict if price will hold or not, and then decide which strike price to buy or sell. I mean, you can do it however you want to do it. Whether that is going to end up in profitable situations for you consistently, that's the question. So anything that requires prediction, you're less likely to be profitable long term. Much less likely. He said with NADEX charts, it's limited view. I mean, that's a limited approach to take, period, with binaries. Just you attempting to do that, regardless of what charts you're using, that's a big challenge. Like, you got your work cut out for you if you want to do that. Because in other words, when you do that, it requires that you predict and be right about the prediction. There's such a difference and a disparity between predicting and observing. When you predicting, you're trying to see if, based on the volatility and the momentum of the market, that your decision to take a trade is going to lead or result in the market ending up going somewhere. That's hard. That's hard. The market is all about prediction. No, it's not. It's not. Binaries make it much easier for you not have to not have to predict. You don't have to predict. If you trade in the in the money binary, even at the money, you don't have to try to predict where the price is going. Within the money, the price is already somewhere. All you have to do is be correct about what the behavior is at the time to determine whether or not the price is going to remain there or not. This is what I mean. Like, we study behavior in the market. So when you look at behavior, it's a totally different game. We're not in the business of trying to figure out, oh, is the price going to go over here? And yes, that too. Ernest said it's more about probability than prediction. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because timing is more relevant to binaries than anything else. You could be right about the direction. Let's say that you bought. You right about the direction. Market moves in your favor. But you got a minute left on the clock. Within a minute, the market can completely turn around. Now it's moving in the opposite direction. By the time the clock goes to zero, it ends below your strike price and you bought. You end up losing the trade. What happened? You were right about the direction. You predicted that it was going up, and it did. But your timing was off. You lost. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Cruz says, Thirsty, you seem to have a personality of long-term trading, which is not this form. Yeah, pretty much. Having like the way of thinking coming out of Forex, I know that that's what you're already like in the mindset of, because everything that you're talking about is related to Forex. But the point that I'm making, as far as the way that you can actually be profitable with binaries, and in particular the binaries that we trade on NADEX, you don't need all of that. You just don't. Ernest said, don't predict, don't have an opinion, just be present and observe. That's it. That's it. And if you do that effectively, you will be consistently profitable, because you're going, just like I was saying earlier, like, think about how powerful it is for you to put yourself in position when you're watching the market to be able to recognize situations where you could lose a trade. Think about that. And just imagine for a moment, you study all the trades that you lost, that you thought you should have won. Study those trades. Look at what the market was actually doing. And if you slice it and dice it up and you drill into it, you'll figure out what it is that you're doing that you can stop doing, that will position you not to experience those losing situations at all. And if you do that, you just basically eliminated the probability and the potential to lose at the same time. Because the lower the probability is of you losing, the potential, of course, to win is going to be present naturally, because you've lowered the probability so low that you don't lose. I'd rather do that. I would rather do that than try to, figure out and predict where the market is going and have to be right about it. And my trade is based on that. You understand what I'm saying? If you're taking a trade that's based on you having to be right about where the market is going to go, not what the market is actually doing right now, where it's going to go. You got to predict where it's going. So you're using all of these tools and different things to try to help you predict. That's the reason why people are not consistent right now in the market, because they use that model. Nah, we not using that model at all. There's a different way that you can go about doing things. And it primarily has more to do with behavior in the market than it does to do with direction and trends and prediction. But this is, like, I love these conversations. This dialogue is powerful because it helps also to bring awareness. Like, there's a lot of people that trade Forex that either don't know about NADEX or don't like NADEX. And a lot of them don't like NADEX because they don't understand it. They're like, oh, no, I'm going to stick to Forex. Yeah, you just don't understand NADEX. You just don't get it yet. And in particular, you don't understand the binaries. And even more specific, you definitely don't understand the 5-minute binaries. Like people are scared the most of 5-minute binaries. And that always is funny to me because I'm like, that's exactly what we trade. We love the 5-minute binaries. Oh man, you can lose your money so fast. Yeah, well, you can lose your money fast being greedy in Forex too. Yeah. Over leverage your account. You lose your money very fast in Forex. Mess around, get a margin call. Your money's done. Oh, well, I can hold my trade, and hopefully the market come back. What if the market don't come back at all to them levels? How long are you going to hold that trade for? You're going to hedge it? And even if you do hedge it, you're locking in whatever the current loss is. And then you got to be right about where and at what point in the market you hedge so that the market can have an opportunity to reverse and go back in a different direction so that you can get out of the hedge, and then now you back off to recover them losses. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Yes. Everything y'all are saying. Powerful, man. Tyler said, love these chats. Just popped in and ready to get the recap when it's over. Based on the comments, there was some good conversations earlier. Definitely. Thirsty for dollars. So with your experience and knowledge of Forex, has it helped you with NADEX? Actually, no. Well, no. That's not fair. I can't say that. I understand what you're asking. I understand your question. Oh, hold on. Let me answer my wife real quick. She messaging me. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Yep. Oh, did Forex help me with NADEX? The reason that I'm saying that it did help is because when I knew that I did not want to go back to Forex, it forced me to learn how to use NADEX. I kind of made a decision where I was like, I don't want to go back to Forex because I got to find a good broker. I got to do all of this extra stuff. And I don't want to have to go through all of that. Like I would have if I needed to. But I'm like, well, I have NADEX. Let me figure this out. And as far as the actual things I use from Forex, because they're not relevant when it comes to trading the binaries on NADEX, the transition from Forex to NADEX was more so based on the first thing I said, where I knew I didn't want to go back to Forex, forced me to learn NADEX. So for that reason, Forex helped me because it forced me to learn NADEX because I didn't want to go back to Forex. So it helped me to that degree. But as far as like the things that I use from Forex, did they help me with trading on NADEX? No. As a matter of fact, I had to realize that none of the stuff I used from Forex was relevant to what I was doing on NADEX. None of it. No indicators, no nothing. That's why I stripped the charts. Even when I was using MT4, there was nothing on the charts. Candles. Just candles. And I remember it was funny too, because when I first started training, I threw a hike and ashy on there just to give people the idea that there was something that was being used, when in actuality it was nothing being used other than price. It was always price. So when I figured out how to trade on NADEX, I totally cut off and eliminated everything as far as indicators, support, resistance, trends, everything relevant to Forex. I just stopped. And then I began to study on the NADEX platform from the perspective of price itself. So that's the transition that happened. Cruz said, but you can make the money so fast. Right, Don. And then you can actually go in the negative in Forex. Yep. Capital One. In other words, you rely on prediction, just prediction of trader behavior. It's still not prediction. It's observation. I give you an example. Let's say that I put you in an environment. You in an environment with, what's a good animal to use? Or let's not even use animals. We'll use people. I put you in a classroom full of 5-year-olds. Okay? 5-year-olds, unsupervised. No parents, no adults in the room. 5-year-olds, they just in there by themselves. Just sit there and watch them. Just watch what they do. And watch them for an extended period of time. Like a month. Every day you watch them. So for like, let's say an hour or two. Let's say 2 hours. For 2 hours, you observe 5-year-olds engaging and interacting with one another unsupervised. You're going to have a lot of information at the end of that month, because you're going to pick up on what they do. You're not predicting what they're doing. You observed what they did, and you recognize exactly the different types of behaviors that they do. This is what they do. You're not trying to say, oh, they're going to do this. You don't have to say that they're going to do this. They do it. You observe that they do it. So the fact that you know that they do this, it gives you a base of knowledge. And now from that base, knowing that these 5-year-olds, when they get together, you can make an educated comment like, well, you know what, if you leave them together for about an hour, the type of behavior that they'll do is this right here. You got a whole list of different behaviors that they do based on what they do. Not that you're predicting what they're going to do. You observed what they do, right? And now you know, you're aware of what they do because you observe behavior. You studied them. That's what we do in the market. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to try to predict what the behavior is going to be. We know what the behaviors are, And then we can base our decision to take trades on what the current behavior is. You see the difference? Not predicting what it's going to be, on what it is. We know we know what that is. Do we trade that? No. Okay. We know what that is. Do we trade that? Yeah. All right, cool. You see, so in other words, now we wait for that. We wait for the behavior that we can recognize and that we know we can trade. That's when we're going to be in the market. You see the difference? Tyler says, was the spreadsheet project terminated for the current blueprint series? Yeah, I do that. Like, I go in and out of the projects at the time. It wasn't terminated because the spreadsheet is never terminated. So just follow the spreadsheet. That's what we just do, period. We follow the spreadsheet. Thirsty for dollars. So if you look at behavior and environment and decide to take a trade, but in the last few seconds the price can move suddenly because you may not be aware of what's happening in the undercurrent of the market. It's like, say, price goes sideways and at some point there could be a sudden breakout. So how do you cater for that eventually? It's through study and observation. See, that's the thing. We know that the market does do that type of stuff. Exactly what you just described. When you said the price can move suddenly in the last few seconds, that's a type of behavior. You see what I'm saying? So knowing the different types of behaviors and knowing what other things to look at for you to be able to identify that that's what the current behavior is, you're going to be unstoppable. You always going to know when to stay out. This is more so about knowing when not to take trades versus trying to get into trades. That's another aspect of it that a lot of people don't think about. We're studying the market so that we don't trade, not so we do. Same way I described the team that is on defense. The team that is on defense is going to score. If you come out trying to be on offense, now you got to shoot against another team that shoots. So you're trying to outshoot each other. But if you come on in the game as the defensive team, if you shut them down, you're going to frustrate them. And that gives you the opportunity to score after you stop them. You see what I'm saying? You reverse engineer the whole process and you put yourself on defense. We do the same thing in the market. That's why we can determine what behavior and environment is at the time. Okay. Cruz said Thursday, the 5-minute binary happens fast that the institutional traders do not have the time to manipulate your trade. Bam. Bam. They don't even know. Like in the actual market itself, they have no idea what we even doing on NADEX. They don't even know what we're doing. They're dealing with the market itself. And that's what I'm saying about understanding the market itself. Not trying to use, the same type of methods that you would use in Forex to predict where the market is going to go. We don't have to do that. All we got to do is observe and study. That's it. We do that. We got it. We got it, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff we going into, man. Oh, I don't even know who that is. Who is that? William. Okay. All right, William. I got you, buddy. Yeah, this is good, man. This is a good live. Very good live. Thirsty for dollars. He's picking the hell out of my brain right now. Traders do not have the time to. Okay, got that. Very good. Osmond said, very good explanation. Cruz said, no need to predict. We just ride the coattails of the institutional traders and scalp the market. That's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. It's a little different than that, but I understand where you're going. Yeah, definitely thirsty for gold. See? Gold. I have noticed since looking at NADEX that price a lot of the time sits around the strike prices and in the last seconds can go above or remain below those prices. Yes. Very good observation. See, thirsty for dollars, what you're doing, you actually already observe behavior. Just from what you're describing that you notice, that you pick up on. Imagine being able to do that and recognizing when the market is in position to not do anything that is unexpected like that. Notice how I said the market's in position. In other words, you're not predicting that the market's going to do that. The market's in position to do that. Imagine that. That's what we do. Osmond says, for there to be repeatable behavior, there has to be some standard or method traders rely on for you to even see the behavior. Correct? Yes. But the thing about that is, as much as you'll attempt to try to curve fit or recognize a pattern, what you just described, imagine there being hundreds of those. Like what you just said. You said repeatable behavior. Now, just think about that. Repeatable behavior don't mean one or two. What if it's 200? What if there's 200 different scenarios just that you're aware of, that you can recognize? Now, out of all of those 200, how do you make any sense out of that? There's always variables and, variations of something that took place that might happen now, that might not happen now. Like how? How do you even navigate? And that's where the study part comes in. And that's also where the patience part comes in. Because once you can actually narrow it down to something that you know that you can participate in, that always leads to profits at the end of the trade, your job now, if you want to be consistently profitable, is to only wait for that to happen. To only wait for those scenarios to take place. And anything else that could potentially be a losing scenario within the framework of what you just described as far as different repeatable behaviors. Within those repeatable behaviors, there's a bunch of behavior that's not profitable. So the question becomes, can you recognize that as well? Not just profitable behavior, but unprofitable behavior. This is why we train the way that we do. This is why training never stops. The market never stops. The market is always adjusting, readjusting, going through different phases, going through, different cyclical type of environments. Does it mean anything? It may or may not. It depends on how you trade. Depends on what you're waiting for. If you just simplify the way that I'm describing it, where you're literally just waiting for the best opportunities to come. You got to define first of all, what is an opportunity for you? What does that even mean? Now, once you define that, what would represent the best one? Now, you got to come to the realization that, okay, I have to have enough patience to wait for that. It may not happen for days. It may not happen all week. Are you prepared to and willing to accept that? Are you willing to accept that the market is not giving that to you this week? Are you cool with that? Or are you going to deviate? You're going to switch up now because you ain't getting no trades with that. So now you're going to add on some other stuff because you need more trades. Well, I ain't getting no trades like that for 2 weeks. So, I decided to go another route. All right, that's your fault. Now, when you go the other route and you're not familiar with all of the nuances of the other route, when you lose, you can't be mad. You deviated from what you do. That's why it's so important, patience and discipline. It's more important than trading. Tyler said, with hours and hours of chart time, you build your vision and understanding of behavior. Yes, you do. With NADEX counted overall chart time on the lifetime of the account. I wish NADEX counted overall chart time on the lifetime of the account like COD tracked playtime. What's that? You totally lost me, Tyler. Totally lost me. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. All right, but this is an excellent dialogue. But anyway, so what time is it? Damn, it's already 6:30, man. How long have I been on here for? Sheesh. See, look at that. 2 hours went by like it was nothing. Just because we getting into good convo, good dialogue. From your experience, it seems from the videos you can trade every day if you wanted to because you have many stocks. Yes, and that's exactly that's what I want people to realize. When your skill level elevates, you can literally trade whenever you want to because there's so many different types of environments that exist that you can trade within. Like, you're not restricted to do anything. When you become good at recognition and interpretation of environment and behavior, you're going to be consistent. You're going to be able to win, period. So the whole purpose of me doing the challenges and the projects is to inspire people to want to get the skill in the first place. Like, you have to start from somewhere. I've been in the financial markets for 27 years. So, I have a vast amount of experience, all from different angles in the market, from different markets, using different platforms. I got a lot of experience. I've been exposed to a lot over the years. You know what I mean? So, for someone on the outside looking in, now I'm coming with something that is very specific. Like, it's a very narrow path, trading the way that we trade on NADEX. So, damn, you just said mad stuff just now. Jesus. From your experience, okay. Cruz said it all boils down to the type of trader you want to be or you are already, depending on your personality. Cruz understands. Tyler, Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty. Okay, that's what COD was? Got you. NADEX would have, on account info, you spent 300 active hours watching charts on your account. Got you. So do you trade every day or do you limit yourself? When I'm trading with my normal size account, I limit myself. When I'm doing challenges and projects, I do pretty much what I want to do at the time. I don't do anything frivolous, like, just retarded, but I do exercise my skill on purpose. Like, I purposely will take trades when the market is showing me what I recognize. When I'm able to recognize a certain environment, I know already what type of trade I can get in that environment. I just know that. And like I said, like this is through years of experience, just with the market in general, and hours and hours of observing NADEX. Like I put in mad hours on the NADEX platform. Like not to take anything from anyone else, but I know that I put in mad hours. I'm talking about like there were days where I didn't sleep the whole day and was on the platform in the beginning. But I had to do that because I needed to figure out what I was doing. That would be a very interesting piece of data. That way you'll focus more on productive chart time. Yeah, and Joshua was about that life. Chris said, I learned things by just listening to you. Appreciate the knowledge. The intricacies and nuances are very important. Yes, they are. You really have to pay close attention to the market movement and the behavior of the market. Exactly. Cruz, once you know what type of trader you are, then you trade in that environment. Bingo. Bingo. Osman, you can get with this or you can get with that. That's it. I'd rather get with this because this is where it's at. That's it. Chris, repeats itself just like history. Exactly. This might not be your environment. Bingo. Yep. Palea said, yeah, it's surprising that you can remember. I'm not sure what you referring to, Peleus. Probably something I said. Joshua said, gotta be obsessed if you want success. Ooh, I'm taking that. Hold up. Wait. Gotta be obsessed if you want success. I hope Jay Carly not on here because she's gonna try to take it before I do. I'm taking it. That's hard. That's hard right there. Gotta be obsessed if you want success. Thirsty for dollars. Do you trade European hours or is that behavior too wild? Okay. When you say do you trade, I don't trade if the behavior is not what I need it to be. Period. So that's the answer. If during the European hours the behavior is right, and I'm on the charts, and opportunities are presented, I'll trade. It don't matter what session it's in. And you can do that because you have elevated your skill to the point where you are always able to recognize the behavior and the environment that you are looking to be in. As long as you can do that, you straight. You could trade, when you will trade whenever opportunities come. Period. And like I said, it doesn't matter what session it's in. Does not matter. But let me get out of here. I gotta go run an errand real quick. I see the majority of you guys on training. Thirsty for trades. I appreciate all of the engagement, man. That was powerful. Very good questions you had. And thank you for digging in because that's how some good content comes out. Like this is a powerful live right here. Definitely. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all. You wait?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say hello?
Say hello to me.
To my audience.
Oh, hey.
It's my son right here. It's my NYU graduate.
Hey, guys.
22-year-old guy right here. Doing big things in life.